Once again, my name is Andrew, director here at Nawasco. I want to welcome all of you to this facility and to our great city of Nakuru. Karibuni sana. I think while you're around, once you're done with your official tour, welcome to the Great Rift Valley, where you can tour and enjoy the scenery in Naivasha on your way back to Nairobi, and enjoy your stay in Kenya. I've been to the Netherlands myself, and hopefully when I come back I will come and tour you people. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Rick. I hope you all enjoyed Nawasco, the factory that we visited this morning, and you can see the opportunities. But we also gave you the brochure with the opportunities at hand. Also want to recognize Waziri, Dr. Mara, from the county, the board of directors, MD Nawasco. Good morning, once again. And I'm going to give you a brief presentation on VEI for those who don't know us. Also on the trade opportunities that we're working on together with different partners. And then we'll have an MOU signing here between KIFWA and RVO on the What Was Leverage program. After that, we'll go outside for the official, groundbreaking start of the sponge garden. So I'll start with a small brief on VEI. VEI exists 20 years actually this year, and we are supported by 7 out of the 10 Dutch water utilities. And of course, together with Waternet and Dunea, we're part of the Waterworks program. VEI works in 20 countries worldwide. You can see it in the map, about half of them in Africa. And in Kenya, we support 4 utilities through the program. Of course, we have, with every utility, we have about 5 key focus areas. Non-revenue water is, of course, a very important one. Water source protection, but also distribution, production, and water quality, among others. And we have a small team here in Nakuru. We have some team members that are part of the utility, but also some team members that are on a payroll, on a local payroll. So if you look at the investment areas, but also areas that are interesting, I think, for Dutch partners, we have, of course, non-revenue water. And as I will show you within my presentation, non-revenue water gives a very good business case, actually, for investment, as does energy efficiency. Energy is about 30 to 40% of operational cost for most utilities because of the pumping. And most water is actually received from groundwater through boreholes. And that requires a lot of pumping, also because of the elevation differences. Of course, we saw the Nawasco briquette factory this morning, and as mentioned in the brochure, there are a lot of opportunities also at hand. What was leveraged Nakuru? I will come to that a little bit further on. And we have a recent development, an MOU that was signed yesterday between Red Cross Kenya for a pilot that we're going to do in Kisumu. And this one, I think, for me, is like a strategic partnership because on one hand, Red Cross, they realize that whatever they're doing in emergency support, it's very expensive. It's about 5 to 10 times as expensive as what we would do on a regular basis because it needs to be there quickly, it needs to be mobile, etc. So they did a pilot in Ghana, where VEI was also part of that. And they have proven a concept whereby supporting utilities, or actually working through the utilities, and having that synergy between Red Cross and the utilities, they can actually do it much cheaper because you can capacity build customers much better, how important it is to have a utility and to pay that water bill, but they also support in all those areas as mentioned. And I'm really happy and also eager to see that we can prove that same pilot and that same collaboration in Kisumu soon. And actually, in Ghana, they're moving to phase 2. And just to mention a number, but I know they're working on a concept at a value of 15 million euros. So there's a lot of interest and money to be made there. So if we look at non-revenue water, in our first year of interaction with the 3 utilities in Nakuru, we did an average of savings of about 35,000 euros. These are the numbers in shillings. And with an investment of 50,000 euros per utility per year, that means there's a very good business case, right? Within 2 years, your money is back. It depends a little bit on the utility where the investment was done. Some of them did it in network, some of them did it in metering, but it depends on the local setting. We're also looking or working on an energy project in Nawasco. So for this one, the business case is even a bit better. There is no number here, but there should be a number. Excuse me for that. But looking at the total savings on energy, so with this project, there are several components that are being replaced. One important one is the pumps. So the current pumps will be replaced with high efficient pumps, so more capacity and lower energy consumption. And then there will be solar energy also added, and then a lot of other items. And that actually adds up to a lot of savings, which means a return on investment within 1.1 years. Then we're also working on an energy project in Kisumu. So this one, we are still in the feasibility phase. So again, for this one, we're looking at replacement of pumps and placement of solar energy. And the total optimization cost will be around this number with an estimated savings, which means that within 3 years, a very good business case. And I think everything I'm mentioning also, of course, gives opportunities. I know Rebel Group has been also in contact with Dutch suppliers. And for me, looking at the bigger picture, there are about 90 registered utilities within Kenya. As mentioned, energy costs are huge, so I think there is a huge commercial potential as well. Then looking at the trade opportunities, I'm not going to go through all of them again. I've mentioned NRW, energy efficiency, the FSTP. Then looking at water as leverage, what you will see outside is the first showcase project, which we call the Nawasco Sponge Garden. And it's a start. It's not finished yet. It's a start, so there's still some elements to finish, like a green roof that is not there yet, and the pond in the middle, which is currently a fountain. That's going to be what do you call that? A retention pond for water. Then we're also working on a design for a pilot project that has a value of about €500,000 euros. That's being developed by the new consortium of Felix. The designs for that one are expected around July, August this year. And then there are 2 to 3 other bankable proposals that will be designed within the next year. And those ones have a value of around between 1 and 10 million euros. So also on those ones, I think they are very interesting, and also Dutch content, I think, could be very interesting to have in this. Then I think it has been mentioned before, there was a presentation on Monday in the panel, the Nawasco IZZ project. This one is a big one that is led by Royal Haskoning DHV and Rebel. And VEI is also supporting with a utility, Nawasco in this case. We're looking at water and wastewater infrastructure, which I think will be a real game changer for the utility. And the budget, I think, is around 90 million euros at this point. For this one, we're waiting actually for the PIP approval from the national government. But of course, there is also budget needed for the last mile connection, and of course the implementation works. And we're looking for that one. We're looking at around 6 million euro of investment. Another project that we're working on is Turasha Dam. Turasha Dam is a dam that is providing water to Nakuru city through the rural utility. We have the MD here present today. Good morning, Mr. Rubin. And for this one, it's also actually Nakuru rural is also supplying bulk water to Nakuru rural, which I think is about 5% of the water that Nakuru urban is getting. So it's an important source to the city. But this one has a lot of silting actually, and it needs a lot of rehabilitation. So it was, we did a pre-feasibility, and the investment needed is about 3.6 million. Again, also with opportunities for Dutch content. Then, talking about energy again, there is a lot of wind. There is a huge wind park in Lake Turkana, which provides about 15% of the energy for Kenya. And with that thought in mind, I think there is also potential for the utilities. And we had a small pre-feasibility done for the 3 utilities in Nakuru County. And turned out that one big windmill would actually provide enough energy for the 3 utilities. Now, although that sounds nice, of course it won't work because it's too spread out and it would need too much network. But just with that in mind, I think other windmill opportunities or windmill solutions could actually give us better solutions, because solar, of course, needs a lot of space compared to windmill. And I think windmill also gives some other opportunities. So for this one, we're looking at for more research funding, and with an estimated implementation cost of around 2 million. And then I think Red Cross was already mentioned. I think another element that was already mentioned also by Rick is the network function and collaboration that we're doing as VEI. So apart from the daily operations, the daily support that we're giving to the utilities through technical assistance, we have a lot of collaborations, and I think some of them are in the room today, some of them are not, but we have done a lot with these partners, and we are still doing a lot. And I have not mentioned all of them, but just to give you an idea. I think with that, I'm coming to an end. I don't know if you have any questions at this point. Yes, please.
Russell Mickelson from Royal Agricom. I have actually 2 questions. One is, sorry for my colleagues, I'm always talking about scale. We're starting a lot of pilot, study, pilot. Do you have any strategy for scaling up? Because pilot is fantastic, but you should have a kind of strategy. Okay, what we're moving after pilot is finished. The second question is the data, the role of the data on being more resilient. You mentioned in one of the slides, I saw remote monitoring and sensoring. And final question, I refer back to my old company, Grundfos. They had a business model that you could actually get the pumps without any capex, but you share the savings, which means it could explode this bit, because saving was 170,000 euro annually. If you get half of them to Grundfos or other brands, I'm not promoting Grundfos, it could be exploded. They did in Asia, the model, and they work very well. So from pilot to scale, and also from how you're using the data and monitoring to feel more resilient for water resources.
Thank you for that question. I think on the scalable question, whatever we do, we want it to be scalable. So it's actually, for example, for Waters Leverage Nakuru, it's one of the prerequisites. But also what we are doing, that's why I was mentioning whatever we do, you can...
The official start of Sponge Garden Nawasco, which has partly already kicked off, but now we have the official opening start. So please, if you will.
Look, so thanks very much for receiving us here as a Dutch delegation, and we're very pleased that we're also starting up with Water as Leverage here in Nakuru. Water as Leverage is one of the flagship projects around the world of the Dutch government. We've talked till now today about drinking water and sanitation, but water plays a broader role in cities. We want to make sure that we contribute to making cities more climate-proof and more livable. And water is central for this. Because we know with climate change, ordinary people feel climate change because of water, because your house floods, or because your harvest fails, because the rain is late. So if water is the problem, we can also make water the solution. What does that mean in cities? It means that we need to make water an integral part of how we design our cities, how we do our spatial planning, and how we plan our economic development. And a large part of that is to make sure that we use our natural water buffers. Our water in our lakes, in our wetlands, and in our groundwater. That's why these kind of sponge gardens and the kind of making the soil more permeable will help to make sure that we have sufficient water during dry periods, and that if it rains too much, our streets don't immediately flood. So we're very happy with this cooperation, and make sure that the rains that fall in Nakuru don't lead to flooding, but we save that rain for the dry period. So it's a pleasure to be here today, and I'm sure that with this sponge city, but with the broader interventions of Water as Leverage, with all these partners, we'll make sure that Nakuru is a nicer city. And sir, we also learn, we bring this experience back home to us, so that our cities also become more livable and more climate proof. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. First and foremost, I wish to welcome you once again to Nakuru County, the county of unlimited resources. This is the only county, of course, with 6 lakes in the country. This is the home of Yodamo, for those of you who know, and so many other natural resources. I want also to thank you for the concept of the sponge garden. And as you may be aware, quite a lot of degradation have taken place in the upstreams. And what happens normally when it rains, like some few days ago, we had some heavy rains, and when it rains, then we experience a lot of flooding, and most of late, because of the bareness of the ground, the grounds are mainly bare. We experience a lot of flooding and development of some gullies and all that. And all that water runs down to our lake, and the effect definitely will be siltation and change of salinity of the water, the lake water, that are harboring the habitats or the animals in the lake. So with this concept of the sponge city, we are happy and we are sure that we will be able to curb that kind of flooding, and hence the pollution to the lake. As the county government, we want to commit that we will upscale this concept. Once it is done here, we will be able to upscale and probably take it to the whole city, and then after that we will still upscale it to the other part of the county. So we really appreciate the partnership with the partners that are here, and as Milko was giving his presentation, we still invite more partners to come on board so that we can be able to carry this concept together and replicate it in some other place of this county. We have 3 WSPs, as you've been told. We have Naivasha, we have Nakuru, and we have Nakuru Rural, and of course our Nawasco, where you are this morning. And we still want to welcome partners and cooperation from other partners, so that we can enhance, make sure that we work on particularly climate smart agriculture with intervention. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think for me, I would want to thank all the stakeholders, our partners from VEI, from Netherlands, more specifically VEI, RVO, and the rest, for showing interest in what we are doing. We believe there are opportunities for business in what we are doing around this sponge garden. It also adds to, because we are a groundwater company, it helps us recharge our aquifers as well as prevent flooding to those of our customers we serve in the lower part of the city. So I believe there are opportunities around it. I'm looking forward to more partnership in terms of energy, sponge city, and all those proposals that Mirko highlighted. Thank you very much. We wish you well when you go back to your country.
Introduce
please. Yes.
the directors who are here.
Course, yes.
Starting with the chairman, Mr. Movie.
How is everyone?
He's the chairman of where we are now, Nakuru Water. The chairman, Nakuru Rural, Mr. Moya. MD Nakuru Rural, Ruben. MD where we are, Mr. Nganga. And I think you know the gentleman there. I think you know him. And directors.
Hi, I'm Catherine Kamau, Director Nawasco. Karibuni sana. Congratulations, Director Nawasco. Welcome.
My name is Joseph Saleh, the Acting General Manager, Infrastructure Development and Management, Central Rift Valley Waterworks Development Agency. I want to welcome all of you. Thank you for the support you are giving us in Naivasha. That is the Royal Asconage, Rebel. And we also invite you to look at other viable projects within Central Rift Valley Waterworks Development Agency area. We promise you cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Carlos Chelugate, Manager of Corporate Communications, Central Rift Valley Waterworks Development Agency. We are representing our CEO. He was with you in Nairobi on Monday. He is currently in other assignments in Nanyuki. We are very glad to have you here. And we should invite you for our World Water Day celebration on 22nd of March.